Hi everyone, it's Mrs. Wine. Welcome back to art class. This week we're going to be finishing our sky and wish tree inspired artworks. So you need to make sure that you have the background that you created last week with either crayon or watercolor, and you're going to need to make sure you have your cloud shapes. You also might want some black or brown construction paper and maybe some crayons. And finally, you will need some glue if you plan to attach all of these pieces to your background sheet. So let's get started. The first thing you need to do is you need to decide if you're going to use the piece for your ground, and you need to decide which of your cloud pieces you want to include. You don't need to include all of them, so just choose the ones that you like best. Then you need to decide where you are going to put these pieces. Once you have made that decision, you're ready to start gluing. This week, it's up to you if you use glue stick or glue bottle. So once I'm ready to put them down, all I have to do is take my glue stick, twist it up just a bit, and then remember, you always want to put the glue on the back of the shape. Now, one idea might be, if I wanted to give the cloud a little bit of texture, I could sort of crumple it up, and then I could unfold it. And when I unfold it, now my cloud is going to have an interesting texture. Then I take the cloud, I flip it over on the back, I apply the glue stick, I turn it over, and I put it down. So you would want to do that with all of your clouds. Then it's up to you to decide how you want to finish the artwork. If you are going to include a tree, you have three choices. One choice is you could simply just take crayons and you could draw the tree like we practiced in our sketches. It could be a Y tree, or you could work from any other tree that we have on our handout. Or you could create the tree with construction paper. One thing I did is I started off by just cutting all these tiny lines with construction paper. I made some of them really thick because I know that some pieces, like my tree trunk, might need to be really thick. And some of them are a little bit more thin. So then I can decide how I want my tree to be on my paper. I know that I want my big branches to be thicker. And then I know as I continue to add branches and tiny twigs that I could just keep using smaller and smaller pieces. So I can decide how I want these to look, and once I have a plan, then I'm ready to take my glue stick, take the pieces off, and glue them on. Another technique that you could use to create your tree is, just like we did with our clouds, you could try tearing the tree. So I'm going to get rid of my line tree, and let's try another option. So if I look at the trees in the PowerPoint by Vincent van Gogh or the tree by Pete Mondrian, then I could take some brown paper, and if I want those trees to be wiggly and wavy, I might want to use my construction paper to try to tear some pieces for that tree. So I can start just by creating some torn pieces for the tree trunk. And it's okay if it's not torn evenly. Then I could continue to tear other twigs and other branches. I can decide how I want to put all of that together. And I would just keep tearing smaller and smaller pieces until my tree starts to look the way I want it to. Then, as always, I would simply start with my big pieces, take them, flip them over on the back, add some glue stick, turn it back over where I want it, and then I could push that down. Remember, you could also take some crayons and you could add a few abstract lines in the back of your artwork. You just want to make sure that you're not doing too many different kinds of lines. So if my tree is created with these torn pieces that are wiggly and wavy, and if I want to add some lines in the background, then I might want to add some wiggly lines in the background. If my tree is created with these straight line pieces, then I might want to be more straight line with my background pieces. The choice is up to you. Look at all of the artists that I shared with you to help us create our inspiration, finish your artwork, and when you're all the way finished, don't forget, take a photograph and send me that photograph on Google Classroom or on Dojo. I hope you have a wonderful week, and as always, keep on creating.